So you want to study architecture. Maybe you are someone that likes to draw, but you realize that posting your art on your Instagram doesn't let you buy your breakfast. Maybe you are inspired by beautiful buildings when you walk through your city. Or maybe you just don't know what you want to do with your life. Whatever your scenario is, you decided that architecture may be the study that will give you a fulfilling future. But let me tell you, studying architecture is not really what you think it is. And there are many things I didn't know about this study when I set foot in the university building 3 years ago. Things that could have helped me quite a bit when I was deciding what I wanted to study. Now I have my bachelor's and in a few weeks I'll begin my master's architecture program. So you can say I kinda know what I'm talking about, it's all still fresh in my head. Let me get one thing straight from the beginning. The concept of the architect you are thinking of is dead. Let me explain. When we are thinking about the architect, we are thinking about an old man in a black suit leading everyone under him so his design can go from paper to reality. Someone capable of making beautifully detailed buildings that will last for centuries to come. That is gone. Your job will mostly be to make something as cheap and functional as possible. Oh yeah, and it also needs to be stable, of course. Maybe with some fierce negotiations you can make it more artsy. Hell, I can even make the claim, depending on where you live, you'll never design a building in your life. There is a good chance your work will be filled with transforming and restoring old buildings. Maybe you have the skill and perseverance to become a star architect like Zaha Hadid or Frank Gehry, but for every one of them there are thousands of architects that couldn't. Now we got over the depressing part, we can talk about the fun stuff, the beginning of your first year. And there's no better way to explain this than from my own experience. So imagine that you begin your first days of architecture. Everything is new, everything is exciting, a few weeks pass and you see people crying, sobbing, telling you they can't do this, that it's too difficult, that it's too hard. That's motivating. Then you need to pay hundreds of euros for drawing materials, books you open once in your life and an Adobe subscription, only to do the hardest exam afterwards. I'm not kidding, they put the most difficult exam as your first one to filter people out of the study. The worst part is that you take the exam on the computer, and when you fill in the answer, you click on a button, which will tell you right away if you got it right or wrong. Every time someone got an answer wrong, you could see it in the movement. People were slamming their desk, putting their hands on their head out of despair, and sometimes you saw the eyes of the one next to you getting watery. The stress of that exam probably has taken multiple years of my life. A common misconception is that you need to draw beautifully to become an architect. That isn't needed at all. You only need to be able to visualize your ideas on paper, something that is easily learned. As someone that likes to draw things like this, I can say with confidence that my drawing skills have gotten worse because of architecture. Drawing is for making sketches and getting a rough idea. When you want a finalized product, you are going to make it with a program like Rhino, Revit or AutoCAD. Good luck in finding a laptop that can handle these programs that will also cost you like 1,000 euros. Then we have the studios where you have your design projects, the most fun parts of the study. And these have a particular pattern. So you arrive at the work group with a design. The mentor roasts your idea until you don't want to exist anymore, and then you can work sleepless nights to make your design better, only to arrive at the work group again and experience the same thing. This is a cycle you need to endure for around a month straight until you finally pass the subject and have some time to correct your sleep schedule. Luckily, designing isn't the only thing you are going to do. That costs time you can use to play, I don't know, Genshin Impact, or socialize with your family, I don't know, whatever you prefer. No, you are going to learn a variety of things like the engineering part of architecture where you can stare at these drawings for hours until you reconsider your life choices. Or part about how to regulate the climate in the house and how to make it more sustainable. It's even more important nowadays. Or hundreds of pages of policies surrounding the built environment. You don't want to get it wrong like this guy. There's also the history of architecture and some parts of human biology you need to learn, but this all ensures that you can design a building the right way. And don't forget some lectures about ethics, philosophy and social studies, because at the end of the day you are designing something for a human, and that requires knowledge about a lot of things to get it right. Architecture differs from other art forms because it needs to be functional, most of the time. A painter can paint a square wheel, but an architect cannot make a house without a construction. But Kraanwater, after all that studying, when do I have time to live my student life? That's the fun part. You don't. Nah, I'm joking. Or not. This video may come over as somewhat ranty. Don't get me wrong, this is one big rant about architecture, but I love it nonetheless. For every terrible story I have to tell about this study, I have 10 more that are positive. From inspiring professors, amazing excursions like when we went to Lyon, or the long days grinding for a deadline with friends. Architecture is something I am happy with, and I get my fulfillment out of it. So after 3 long years of studying and continuing with my master, after 3 long years of sleepless nights and deadlines, after 3 long years of architecture, do I recommend it to others? No, of course not. Go study international relationships or something. At least that's good for your wallet.